You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. I am your host, Brandy Williams, coming to you with another astrological update for the week of August 26th through September 1st. It appears to be a lovely end to the month of August. Lots of big Venus energy happening this week with some other big shifts. So let's get right into it. We still have this tension between the Jupiter in Gemini and the Saturn retrograde in Pisces square that's looming in the cosmos. And this will be here until about mid September. So we could be feeling this sense of busyness. Our nervous systems could feel quite glitchy. And we could also feel split between two opposing energies, two opposing thoughts or decisions. Perhaps there's a choice or many choices that we feel compelled to make. And so there's this tug of war happening. This is a good time to step out of our own experience and into an observer's perspective as we witness the dialogue between our human and higher selves. And when we step out of this energy, we can step out of the nervousness and anxious headspace that we could be experiencing. Venus in Virgo is still asking us to get rid of some excess clutter in our energetic experience. This could be physical, this could be emotional, psychological, and to ground this energy and surrender to what we cannot control. Venus is also calling in new streams of income this week in a very defined feminine way. So, this could be doing less but receiving more. Mercury is still retrograde in Leo and has entered into this three-way conversation as he trines Chiron retrograde in Aries and sextiles Mars in Gemini. And they're all at 23 degrees of their own signs right now. And so this is bringing awareness to the key themes in our healing journey, the common denominator that keeps coming up for us, the triggers. And so we're getting to take a really good look at what needs to heal. We can see new revelations and messages about new paths and approaches and solutions to our healing journey. And they are now available for us, but they could have been unavailable before. This is why it is so important to step back and take stock of what's going on inside of us. What are the feelings? What is eating Gilbert grape? Because when we are in the driver's seat, we're not able to really see and hear the downloads that the divine and our higher consciousness is trying to give us. And so we can't really see that next step. So we could see significant breakthroughs with this conversation, especially for those of us who have points or planets in 23 degrees of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This is working with you personally. Today, August 27th, Venus in Virgo is trining Uranus in Taurus. And so Venus has broken free from her opposition with Saturn last week. And Saturn in Pisces is our spiritual teacher in this season. And so Venus is feeling a bit powered up. Perhaps she's want to let her hair down. So, she's going to call her boy Uranus. And Uranus is actually house sitting for her in the sign of Taurus because Venus rules that sign. And so Venus is, she calls up Uranus and it's just like, what's up, Uranus? And Uranus is like, what's good? And she's like, I think I want to change. I think I want something different. And Uranus is like, say less because I'm the change maker. And Uranus gets Venus to take down her top bun and take her glasses off and put her contacts in. She's got on a pink lip because we're going outside today. And when Venus is in Virgo, she's a very simple energy. She's logical, practical, and prudent. She's very studious, like an innocent librarian archetype or something. And Uranus is our planet of revolution and change, coming here to bust us out of something and shake us out of some type of energy. But in Taurus, Uranus is concerned with finding change and liberation so that we could be our own authentic selves, finding something that is realistic to our own values, and that's a lot like us. And so neither one of these energies are actually risk takers, but a risk is going to be taken today because they both want something different. And so they're really ready to bust out of any stagnancy. So we could be experiencing these light bulb ideas of something shifting in our schedules, our work or workout routines. Something could be changing in our business frameworks. There could have been a sudden or unexpected, scary, or exciting situation that really shifted us and got us to shift into a different change and a different mindset. And we could find ourselves removing some things that feel stagnant or unnecessary to replace it with something that feels a little lighter and that feels a little bit more exciting for us and authentic. We could be experiencing insights and revelations at this time, so be sure to pay attention and write down any signs, any synchronicities, or channel messages through prayer and meditation that you could be receiving. Any messages that comes in dreams, or if you're pulling cards, or like I said, if you're in your prayer time, if you're even scrolling on social media, there are going to be messages that are coming to us to give us information on how we need to shift and what we can do to make life feel lighter. And tomorrow on August 28th, Venus in Virgo will oppose Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And let me tell y'all something. A time was had today with Uranus and Venus in Virgo, but Venus is tired now, and Venus is ready to go back inside. She's ready to take a nap. She's on her in her bubble, and she's got her do not disturb on. Okay, because Venus is like, I need to rest because tomorrow Venus is going to do her big one. Venus opposing Neptune also reveals to us where we could be idealizing, coveting, or desiring what others have and who they are in comparison to who we think we should be and who we want to be. And this could be found in friendships and partnerships, relationships, business collaborations. So we want to be mindful if we find ourselves criticizing others, comparing ourselves to others, or thinking that we know what someone else needs more than they do. We should also be mindful for entering into a savior complex. You know, somebody got the cape on, ready to save somebody else. But the objective this year is to mind your own energy, to stay in your lane, and to be in your boat. And so that you can fill your cup up so that you can serve in your authenticity, right? And so when we catch ourselves projecting that energy outward to others, we just want to give ourselves a little tug to take that energy back inside of us. So guess what? Mercury is stationing direct tomorrow, y'all. I know. I'm happy too, because girl, listen, like it's been crazy. Um, Mercury will still be in Leo at 21 degrees, but welcome back to the land of clarity, clear thoughts, clear ideas, clear communication. And we will also see a refill and a re up on our courage. Something that we could have felt hesitant or afraid to do, we are currently ready to go for it. We are taking a mental health break with Mercury stationing direct right now. Tapping into our joy centers, things that feel light and fun for us, just so that we can, really decompress and really care about our mental and emotional health right now. And so we're also congratulating ourselves and patting ourselves on the back while Mercury is stationed in direct for the evolution and the elevation in our own communication skills. So good job, everyone. August 29th, Big Venus is doing her big one as she struts in her high heels into her dignity in Libra season. And that is her ruling sign. And baby, let me tell you, Venus in Libra, honey, is very sophisticated. She's very opulent. She's very demure. Venus is in her element. She's on her throne. She's in her own home, one of her own homes, because her other home is Taurus. So she's in Libra right now. And so when Venus is in Libra, it's giving potent beauty, and it's giving a love of art, strong communication, strong friendships, and power couples. And at 0 degrees of Libra, Venus will make an immediate trine to Pluto in Aquarius, who is also at 0 degrees, getting ready to station back into Capricorn in a few days. And when Venus and Pluto are in this romantic and steamy dance with each other, we are going to be seeing life changing connections, dynamic business partnerships, clear understandings of our relationship patterns and how they've been upgraded, amazing collaboration opportunities. The Libra parts of our lives has experienced an evolution with the south node of the moon being here all year long, and Venus has also evolved. So Venus is more confident this time in Libra. She appreciates all she has to offer. She's aware of what relationship dynamics critiques no longer serve her. She looks at other people's disapproval of her with grace and objectivity because that don't have nothing to do with her, okay? And she knows that now. She's no longer people pleasing. She's no longer accepting inequality in her relationships. Venus in Libra will no longer be compromising her needs for anyone. She's no longer receiving less than her self proclaimed worth. And Venus in Libra is not taking less to give more. That's all done with. Libra is a sign that really values peace and harmony and balance. It's the scales. But this sign goes through a lesson, and that lesson is to understand that we must first bring peace, love, and harmony to ourselves. And that is the energy that Venus is on right now. Big Venus energy. Finally, Pluto will station retrograde September 1st, finishing up something at 29 degrees of Capricorn that began 16 years ago when Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008. So if you think back to 2008, we saw some things happening with the housing market, how it crashed. There were situations, bank fraud situations for major entities, and there were really a lot of occurrences with multiple financial and governmental structures and institutions because they begin to crack. So Pluto is the planet of demolition. It is the great destroyer, and it comes back into Capricorn to end something. The United States actually has its natal Pluto in Capricorn. So right now, the US is having its Pluto return, and the old way of doing things are ending. They are being dismantled because we are preparing for a new way, new structures, new distributions of power and money. And Pluto travels back into Aquarius November 19th. And we will never see a Pluto in Capricorn again. In fact, neither will our grandchildren because it takes about 248 years for Pluto to travel through the entire zodiac. So something is changing in a way we've never seen in our lifetime. Something to do with technology, with wealth, with the paradigms of our world, with structures. All of that is changing. All of that is being torn down because something new is coming. And we could see a more equal distribution of money and power being given to the normal people like you and me. And also, we should be thinking about what transformed for us personally in 2008. What uh, what was happening in 2008 that needed to shift, and what is needing to end for you now? This is a cycle that is about to come into completion. So, wherever we have Capricorn in our charts, in our lives, we will also experience a personal ending and transformation. Um, and so Uranus will also station retrograde in Taurus later on this week. And this is bringing an evaluation to our money and our resources. Something is about to shake for us in these areas. I will touch more on that topic next week, as well as the new moon in Virgo and how all of these planets going into retrograde is really significant for some type of spiritual evaluation that we are going through. And remember to just take what resonates for you and leave the rest. And that'll be all for this week. I hope everyone has a blessed week. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast.